Look at those crow. The crow, Brendan Lee. Evening, fellow scholars. Welcome to today's episode of Let's Thrift with me, your host Calvin, and my dearest old friend Glenn. My mission is to look for a camera, used camera. Glenn's mission is just to find records. He doesn't own record player, but whatever. Of course, we need to stop by A&W because we ain't got no A&W back in Kuching. By the way, look at that float. Isn't it delicious looking? So another favorite place of ours is Family Mart, but we're not going in there. We're going into Amcorp Mall here in Kuala Lumpur. The first place that always piqued my interest are these digital camera store called J1 Camera. You can find them in Carousel, and this is the link, kind of. It's not clickable link, sorry, but we're not looking for digital camera or used digital camera. We're actually looking for old stuff. Sadly, in this shop, which is called Victoria Music Center, they mostly sell first-hand items, first-hand records, first-hand cassette, first-hand CDs. So these are all well kept. So if you're looking for something that's brand new, in mint condition, a beautiful wrap, go check out this place. It's awesome. The only problem is, of course, is the price. They are really expensive. Oh, by the way, check out this Nirvana thing that I found. Yeah, we all know the stories of Beatles, Sgt. Pepper Lonely Heart, with the movie starring Bee Gees. Yes, some of this cover does intrigue me, by the way, because of the glossiness of its album. Of course, these are well maintained. Oh, Eagles. Glenn is a fan of Eagles. He is actually looking for one of the Eagles album. Sadly, this one in particular is too expensive for his budget, so we'll just have to skip it for now. Speaking of Beatles and Bee Gees, check out this Bee Gees compilation, The Greatest Hits. Now, I've already owned it back home, the LP as well, but not in this cover. This one looks nice and brand new. Mine is actually used that I ordered from eBay. Come, let's go check out the rest of the LP. Oh yeah, I used to be a fan of Keane. Whatever happened to that band? So in our second shop here, I can't remember the name of the store, we were looking for a record player, but sadly I don't think they sell a cheap one. Most of the records here are for testing out these LPs, sadly. Oh, by the way, this H.R. Geiger looking album looks interesting, but I don't know how it sounded like. Better not risk it. So in this row, I'm actually interested because of the label. The category is supposed to be soundtrack, but not much of a soundtrack choices here for a music score lover like myself. Well, I did find The Big Chill. Very interesting, but no. I also found Mr. T, of all things, quite rare. Only a fool would enjoy this music. I'm one of them, perhaps. Speaking of Mr. T, I found Rocky 5. Not Rocky 4, sadly. I would love to buy Rocky 4. I will definitely buy it in a heartbeat, but not Rocky 5. I'll have to skip it. Speaking of things that I won't skip, this all about the Western theme. Probably spaghetti Western. Maybe one of them are scored by Ennio Morricone. Who knows? Most of the track lists are in Japanese, so I can't read them, sorry. And look at this satanic looking album. I don't know how it sounded like. It might sound satanic. Well, unfortunately, no different than Victoria Music Centre. This shop kind of sells first hand as well. We were looking for a second hand album, but again, they are beautifully wrapped. I have to hand it to them. But if you're looking for something that's used and second hand, try to go downstairs. There's lots of LP store around, but I'm not interested in LPs. I'll let Glenn go ahead and look for his record. Me, on the other hand, is more interested in camera, like this Minolta lens. But I'm not looking for lens, sadly. I'm looking for camera, a rangefinder in particular. This Polaroid does look interesting. I would like to try that someday, but not now. Rangefinder it is. Here's a Pentax, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly. I have to check out the shutter to make sure that it's working, and sadly it's stuck. Here's a very old looking light meter. I don't know how to use it. The old man who sold it did offer to show me how to use it, but I told him, no, it's fine, I'm good. And here's a Super 8 camera. Well, very interesting. Ooh, a TLR. To be honest, I've never owned a medium format camera. I might be interested in this camera if I can't find a particular rangefinder that suits me. This is my second choice, of course. Even though the front cover has been teared off, it still worked for me. I can still restore it back home. I'll keep this here for now. On to the rangefinder. Most of the rangefinder here are intriguing and kinda works. It is sell as is, probably for repair, for parts. I don't know which one, but I'm not too confident. And then this Fuji auto-date compact camera from the 80s. I was interested in it, but not now though, because the old man said the flash doesn't work as well. Most of these other SLR, well, I'm not interested in them because I already own one.
Ini bateri ya?
Iyalah. Pasal order online bateri ni.
Bateri order online boleh.
Iyalah.
Meter okey.
Masih okey oh?
Kena repair lah.
Oh.
Repair tinggal dalam 400.
I see.
Ini dia jual 300 kan?
Yang AE tiada ho.
Ha?
AE Canon
A1.
Ya.
A1 saya ada kat rumah. Betul saya tak bawa.
Tak apa. Terus tanya.
Saya ada A1, A1.
Iyalah.
A1 ada lagi kat rumah.
Oh. Mad respect to the old man. He's a camera collector like myself. I wish to be like him someday in the future, owning all vintage camera. Saya dah ni di rumah juga. Well, remember in our previous video we visited Teh Collectibles. Most of the things here are basically antiques. There are cameras, but it's a limited choices, of course. Things here sells like vase or an audio recorder, typewriter, porcelain dolls, glasses, some collectibles that pretty much just collectibles. For example, like this audio recorder and playback kind of reminds me of Evil Dead. I would like to try it out. Ooh, a sewing machine. Interesting. And for those who are looking for an old typewriter or a cash register, here you are. There's one with a Batman symbol in it. Interesting, of course. What's with the creepy head? Where'd you come from? Oh, Mr. Big Head. I will be on my way. Looking at these beautiful looking broadcasting camera. Very old. I'm not sure if it functions. You can ask the seller. But the camera in this glass cabinet are pretty much the same like the one in the previous video. Some of the cameras here are not working properly. They are just for display. But these cigarette box, well, Glenn might be interested in them because Glenn smokes. What Glenn doesn't do is drink old bottles. These old bottles, I'm not sure if they are drinkable. Well, you can try it for those crazy people out there. And these porcelain dolls creeps me out. Not for me, thank you. I'll skip it for now. Again, here's a showcase of all the things that sells in Amcorp Mall. Be sure to come here on weekend, especially on Sunday. We came here on Saturday, by the way. There's these flea market that sells all of the things such as stamp, collectible stuff, old books, scripture, manifesto, probably, I don't know, old money, old things basically, even old radios. For those who are interested, go ahead, check it out. I wish there are more thrift store out there in Kuala Lumpur or even in Kuching. Now let's go back to Glenn to see how his progress of looking for a record. By the way, the music playing in this shop happens to be West Side Story. I have to lower down the music, the sound effects here just to avoid copyright claim. Great choice of music though. I like West Side Story. There's a flea market upstairs too, on the ground floor and the floor above. Just withdraw. I might be interested in one of the camera. This is what happens if I come here, because I will buy one of the vintage camera. What is he doing here? Is he interested in the camera as well? Kau interested camera juga? Mana kau beli kenal juga? Well, time to show Glenn some of the stuff regarding camera, and the one that I'm holding here is a Super 8 camera. I told him I'm not interested because I don't think they develop 8mm here in Kuching, sadly. And upon my search for a perfect rangefinder, I couldn't find the perfect one. This one's intrigued me. It's the panorama camera, a compact panorama that acts like X-Pen. It's a 35mm camera, of course, but no, I'm not interested in X-Pen like. This Yashica is beautiful. I own one back home, which is a Yashica MF, not this one. Really great camera, a good rangefinder, but I need something better. And speaking of better, I found something really intrigued me. I'm almost interested into buying this one. It's the Pentax ME, or should I say Pentax Super ME. It's small, it's compact, it fits in my pocket, something that I'm really craving for in a 35mm SLR. I almost wanted to buy it, but unfortunately, according to the old man, its cost 250, and my budget at the time, I'm looking for something that's lesser than 200. I would like to negotiate the price, but I feel bad for the old man. I have this sympathy, by the way. He told me that you have to find the batteries online. It's actually just for the light meter. The rest are pretty much work.
Ya, belum off timer tadi.
I've held a lot of cameras on that desk, but the one that really interests me, Pentax ME, I can't stop holding it. It feels so perfect in my hand. I don't care what's the review online. It mounted with 1.4 f aperture lens, 50mm by the way. It's already perfect for me.
Berapa ni?
Maybe someday I'll return to you, Pentax ME. I will return. Look at how small it is. So looks like I'll just have to go to my second choice, which is the TLR.
Nyaman pegang apa? Berapa?
Oh yeah, by the way, the old man mentioned he also sell half frame camera, like one of those Instamatic
Yeah,
one, like this one. Check this out, it's
Half
the
frame.
Olympus brand.
Apa pun nice juga. Kita si film yang ku ya, instead of ambil macam tu, dia ambil half kecil lah. It is. Ya, half frame. Cute bro.
This SLR is also interesting. It's the first SLR I held that day.
Satu 20. Boleh lah, ambil yang ni. Nanti saya repair di rumah. Boleh.
So I can't help myself. I never owned a TLR. The one that I bought
Okay,
was a Ricoflex Model 6. Not the 7, not the 7S as well. So back to Glenn, he still hasn't found a record. Thankfully, he found one record at least, which is Ego. Still isn't enough. He needs more record. Oh, by the way, I found Smiggle, a precious of mine. 30 ringgit. And my love for Godzilla. Oh, that's a old Godzilla. And here we have is Kiryu from the Godzilla Tokyo SOS. Beautiful. Finally, Glenn found two records. The artist he's looking for is Glenn Campbell. Let's go check out the sound.
Cepat kah turun kau? Kau
My God.
Ripley dengan Newt. And then atasnya Godzilla lagi. Oh my god. Ini ada Ultraman dengan Godzilla deh. Oh my gosh, that's not how it's supposed to. Shoot, get out. Shoot. Rodan. Godzilla, Mothra.
During this time when we went there, they held this convention thing where you can adopt cats. I love cats. Let's go check out these furry animals. Kitty. If I live there, of course I'll adopt one because I love cats.
Bro.
I don't know where this come from. Oh my god. So here are my thrift haul. I've bought the Recoflex Model 6. It's a little bit teared out, but I can fix it. My very first TLR. The viewfinder is looking really nice. There's a bit of haze, but it doesn't bother me. It's supposed to look old, by the way. And I also bought this When Photography Really Works book. Really interesting. I bought it at the Book Express for only $19.90. Very cheap. And of course my love for Godzilla. I can't resist them. The 61 by 91, I think the length. But there you go, Biollante, Space Godzilla, and versus King Ghidorah. Thank you for watching.